welcome to Eating with Rula. I'm Rula, and just last week I had a few friends over for lunch. It was a freezing day. It was about 19 degrees. So I thought, what should I make? And it came to me, soup. It warms you up, it makes you feel really good inside. And I made them my mushroom soup, and they loved it. So this recipe is for them and for all of you to enjoy. So let's begin. First thing you're going to need is a tablespoon and a half of butter. You're going to melt it in your pot, and then to that we're going to add mushrooms, 1.5 pounds. So when you go to the supermarket, it's about 3 of those little boxes of mushrooms. What I do with my mushroom soup is I diversify the mushrooms. I have baby bella, I have cremini mushrooms, and portobello mushrooms. And I cut them up like this, like in quarters, or the portobello in little chunks like that. And then I put it in with the butter that's melted in the pot. And what you're going to do is you're just going to mix that around, fry that around for about 8 to 10 minutes with some salt and pepper. So I put about 1/2 teaspoon of salt now, and then I grind some fresh black pepper, but you can use, already ground pepper, and I use a lot of black pepper. I love black pepper in my soups. It adds a nice flavor to it. So you put that, and you're going to just stir it around on medium heat, and then you're going to shut it off in about 10 minutes. Okay, so this is what all your mushrooms look like after 10 minutes. They've released their juices and they've shrunk. It seemed in the beginning like there was too much mushrooms, but as you can see now, it's really not that much. So we're going to take it off, take it out of the pot. We're going to put it in a separate bowl, and we're going to come back for the next step. Okay, now that you've taken your mushrooms out of the pot, still use the same pot, melt another 1.5 tablespoons of butter, and take 1 onion, finely chopped, put it in there, and then you're going to add also to that either 1 shallot, or if you don't have a shallot, which is usually the case in most households, there's not readily available shallots, use either another small onion or 1 red onion. Whatever you have available. I sometimes, if I have a red onion available, extra, I like to add it in to mix with the regular onion just to give it a little bit of a different flavor, extra flavor. So whatever you have available. The important thing is you add onions. Okay? Okay, now that you've sauteed your onions, we're going to add our next ingredient, which is 3 tablespoons of flour. You're going to put it in there, and you are going to saute it with the onions for about 3 minutes. And then we'll be ready for the next batch of ingredients. Okay, so now what you're going to add to your flour and onions is 6 cups of vegetable bouillon. What I do is I buy these cubes of vegetable bouillon, and you mix it with warm water, and you've got your 6 cups of vegetable bouillon. So I have here 4, and I'm going to add another 2 cups of water to give me my 6 cups, and then I add my bouillon there, and it'll dissolve since the water is warm. Now, in addition to this, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of white cooking wine. Wait till the vegetable bouillon cubes dissolve in here, and then you're going to take your mushrooms that we just sauteed and that smell delicious. You're going to take about 2/3 of your, or a little bit more than that, of your mushrooms, and you're going to add that in with its juices and everything. And that's when you're going to let it simmer for 20 minutes. So as you can see, I left a little bit here because we're going to put that on the soup at the end, so you have little bits of mushrooms that you're going to be eating after you've pureed this soup. So now I'm going to wait for this to boil, and once it does, I'm going to lower the heat, cover it, and let it simmer for 20 minutes, and I'll see you again in 20 minutes. Okay, this is what our mushroom soup looks like so far. It's ready to be pureed. So why don't we do that? Now, if you don't have a handheld mixer like this, you can, of course, let it cool down a little bit, the soup, and then you can put it in your blender, and it'll blend all the mushrooms nice and fine with the onions. This is what our soup looks like, pureed. And now it's ready for our next ingredient. Okay, you're going to add 2/3 a cup of heavy cream or light cream. And then you're going to add 1/3 a cup of milk. Stir that around for a second, and then add your salt, your pepper. Now salt, of course, it's got to be up to you how much you like, salt, and how pepper you like your soups. Like I said, I love pepper in soup. It kind of gives it a little bit of a nice zing. But something else I add to my soups, well, this soup in particular, that gives it a really nice flavor is nutmeg, freshly ground nutmeg. Of course, if you don't have fresh nutmeg, you can use a bottled ground nutmeg. I put about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg into my soup. And then, remember those reserved mushrooms that we didn't use? We're going to put that in there now. And we're going to stir that in. And also, our last ingredient is 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley that's been chopped up. And that is it. We're going to leave everything cooking for another 5 minutes so that all of these ingredients have a chance to give one another flavor, and you are going to have a deliciously perfect soup. Now you're ready for the best part. Mushroom perfection. Delicious. Enjoy your soup. Let me know how it turns out. And I'm glad you joined me today on Eating with Rula. Take care. Bye-bye.